Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the International Fabtalk family. Thank you for being a part of our journey, dear friends, and thank you for enabling us to meet all those unsung heroes who have done their very best. And today, we have another young unsung hero who is with us, a person who has contributed a lot to the society, wanting the great transformation in the minds of the younger generation and as well as the others as well, the adults and the seniors. Dear friends, let's welcome our special celebrity for today. She is Miss Rajani Nandakumar from Chennai, a practicing psychologist and a wonderful person, an approachable person. You will love her the way I do. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session.
Thank you.
Dear ma'am, with your permission, I go ahead and share your profile. But before that, I'd love to thank you for giving your time for accepting the invitation to the International Fabtalks.
I feel honored. So
thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Thank you, dear. Dear friends, as I earlier mentioned, our special celebrity today is Rajani ma'am, and she is lovingly called as Rajani, but actually her name is Rajani Nandakumar, and she's a wonderful practicing psychologist with over 15 years of experience. She has certificates in different therapeutic models, recently trained in Pediatric Palliative Care Counseling. She is a certified professional supervisor who successfully completed the RISEUP training for supervision, that is from the Australian Counselling Association. And my dear friends, she is currently a consultant at Bloom Life Hospital. She has successfully completed an online training program on POSH LAW ACT 2013. Rajani ma'am has also worked in Bharatmatrimony, Datri Blood Stem Cell Donors Registry, Academy of Maritime Education and Training, happymarriages.com. She was a former consultant psychologist at Fuji Electrical and HTC Global Services. She has recently rejoined HTC on request from the company. Rajani ma'am also offers workshops on topics in psychology, which is based on stress, anger management, effective communication, work-life balance, conflict management, health and healthy relationships, etc. In the educational institution, she teaches personal excellence and has been a regular external faculty in MOP Vaishnav College for Women, Chennai. Rajani ma'am offers counseling over email too, Google Meets and phone, individual and group counseling as well, friends. She can counsel in Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, English, etc. She is a member of several NGOs in the field of mental health and has held several posts in them. She is a former president of Chennai Counselors Foundation. Currently, she is the secretary of the Indian Academy of Professional Supervisors. And today she has agreed to share her space with us on the International Fabtalks. For that, we are very grateful and honored. Thank you, ma'am, for being a part of the International Fabtalks.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I didn't think I rated having to come on this, but then like you said, everybody has done something or the other. So probably I too have reached that space. I'd like to tell myself that.
Yes, dear. Yes, ma'am. And you have reached it overcoming all the hurdles and all the challenges. And that is the beauty of life, my friends. All the youngsters, anyone who would like to think, who are thinking of giving up your lives, facing small challenges or maybe a minor one or a major incident in your life, you want to give up your life. And here are unsung heroes who have never given up on their journey. They would like to contribute back to the society. Dear ma'am, how would you define yourself? Who is the real Rajani?
Well, I'm not Rajnikant, the star, though my name was kind of similar to his, even though the spelling, the name pronunciation is same, but the spelling is different. And I like to say I'm the original Rajani because he became Rajani after he joined the film industry. He was not born Rajani. I am born Rajani, right? So I take pride in that. So how do I describe myself is, yes, I'm fairly easygoing. I don't take offense very fast. I kind of pass it, like let it go like that. However, if ever I dig my heels in, which is very rare, it's very difficult to take out my heel from there. Then that person, I just kind of, move that person out of my life. I don't want anything further to add to. If it is not negativity or toxicity, I feel I have much more in my life to focus on rather than that person or that situation or that place. I would rather move on. So easygoing, I have a good sense of humor. I think so. And I love to laugh a lot. I find pleasure in so many things, small joys. I look for small joys and I do find them also. During this rainy season, you have this ladybird, beetle, bugs. So beautiful. Red cover with black dots on them, scuttling around here and there. I mean, nature is so beautiful. In anything you can find beauty. So I don't know, maybe I have reached a stage now like that, but I find joy in small things, and I feel, accumulation of that makes me a more pleasant person to be with. I hope so.
Yes, dear ma'am. I really like the way you put it. I'm an easygoing person, but in case if somebody's harsh to me with lots of toxicity around them, I wouldn't like to hurt them. I would like to move away. Just be myself and let them be themselves and not to have anything to do with them. And that's a big takeaway for all of us. You never let anyone disrespect you or treat you like a doormat. And you
There is
find
no
joy.
need to prove you know more than them, or you're a better person than them.
Yes.
Or there's no need at all. Why you want to prove to anybody? You know who you are, and if you feel that this is this much and no further, you take that call. You need to have your boundaries. You take the call, but you move on. Don't get stuck there. Then it is a recipe for disaster and depression. So move on, because there are so many other people, other situations, other places that you can explore, you can connect. So that's my mantra. Move on.
Move on. Yes, dear. And if you don't move on, then that's a recipe for disaster. I like the way you put your words, ma'am, humorously, but then yes, there is a catch in that. Stay safe and don't let yourself be treated in any negative way or be abused in any way. You have to take responsibility of your life and your thoughts and the way you want your life to be. Be happy going and easy going too. And I love the way you love the little ladybirds. Yes, the ones with the red dot. Ma'am, do you know how many dots are on its body, on its wings?
I've not really counted, because it's a red body with black. I have seen only red with black. I believe there are black with red also, and other colors also. I am told. I don't know. But I guess there must be some, at least 4 on each side.
Would you like to guess? Make a guess.
8, 8.
8. मैंने जहां तक पढ़ा है 7 है.
7 है. Okay.
है. तुम अब भी रिसर्च कर लीजिए एक बार.
Definitely. Now that you raised the point, immediately after this, I'm going to go into Google, Baba. I mean, he's there, no?
Yes, dear. Because I did a session with number 7. When we see 7 as the 7 colors of the rainbow, then there are the number 7 is magical. And then I happened to see that even the ladybird has 7 spots on her, on their wings or the body. Like you just get that right. If I don't know,
Yes.
I just researched on Google, and how far Google is true, sometimes we don't know.
Websites. Right. Okay, I will look it up.
Yes, dear. So yes, friends, this is the way we find joy with little things. The small things are really the ones that give us immense joy. Beautiful, ma'am. Dear ma'am, what inspired you to become a psychologist? Or who was the inspiration behind all of this?
Inspiration, if you see, not just for mental health profession. My mother and the women before her. I'm amazed at the way, with minimum or no facilities, no support system, how they managed, holding their homes together, managing children with not much medical awareness or attention. Basically, they built lives. And if you ask anybody, whether it's an elderly person or a young child, which is the best cooking, who does the best cooking, they'll say my mom's cooking. It can just be some rice mixed with something, very simple, but it has that love, right? So with the most basic ingredients, minimum stuff, how women have really managed over the generations, I would say, from cave women. I have read somewhere that cave women, it was their job to protect the children and ensure, 360-degree, they had to be alert, because there was danger from everywhere, from creepy crawlies to large animals to weather, everything. And they, whatever little they had with them, like maybe it is some food or it is some implement they made, they had to protect that. Men would go out, hunt, could be killed, but they generally, that was their single-minded focus. They have to hunt and bring back food, right? Whereas women, 360 degrees. So even now I feel a woman, she, normally we say multitasking doesn't help because you lose focus here and there. When you're focusing on something, you lose focus somewhere. But a woman, very easily she does multitasking. If you say that you are managing cooking on 4-burner of a stove, that is one task, it's cooking. But not only cooking, your kid is calling from there, there's a phone ringing, somebody's ringing the doorbell, your maid comes and asks you something. So she's so alert and aware at that time. So I don't agree that multitasking doesn't work. For a woman, I feel it comes naturally. Whether she is only, like many people say, kuch nahi karti, ghar pe baiti rehti hai, like she's just sitting at home, she does nothing to do. Or for a woman who's working and coming, managing home, both of them, it's a thankless job. Another thing is, mind is constantly working. The last thought in my mind when I go to bed is, tomorrow what breakfast? Because lunch and dinner, I can rustle up anything. Breakfast, I know I have to. My husband says, why are you so bothered? I can make something for myself. But for me, that one breakfast I need to give him. So last thought on my mind is, before I fall asleep, what is tomorrow's breakfast? Bread hai to, okay, I can wake up a little late. But I need to be. So for every woman, I think it is true. This fact is there. I'm not belittling men, you see, but I am per se saying that it's these women who have struggled through so many ages. They're still struggling. Many of them are still struggling, but however, they are managing to build a home, safety spot, for their families, even for the surrounding, the extended families, especially for the children. The nest that they create, that is so beautiful and so soft and so nurturing. That is what amazes me when I look at all the women. Even now I watch women, how they are, functioning. It can be the boy, it can be a security guard's wife who comes to hand over food to him. It can be an auto driver. Nowadays you have women doing that, auto driving, Swiggy, how much they are managing, So I'm really amazed. They are my inspiration. Women per se are my inspiration.
Yes, dear. That's a beautiful way to give a tribute, a wonderful tribute to all the women out there. When you multitask, I feel like Goddess Durga is present in each one of us, yes, with all those extended arms, doing all of that. Yes. And as you say, you derive your inspiration from women. Yes, dear. It's very true. I really like the way you put it. Yes. And I like this word. I rustle up the lunch and the dinner. I really love that also, the way you said that.
Everything is possible, lunch and dinner.
Yes.
Dal mein something dalo, tadka karo, something it is ready. But it's the breakfast, the first meal of the day. It's very important.
Yes, dear. I like the way you're putting things. That's really very nice, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you for that beautiful way of explaining how a woman should feel loved. She should love herself and she should value herself such that others begin to value her too. Sometimes women forget themselves, ma'am.
Right.
They don't give the importance to themselves. It's all, that's it. Not even a single person they think about themselves. They're so sacrificing and so giving all the time. So it's time women realize that they too are important. And when they do that, they may give double measure in what they are giving, right?
There is a saying in Tamil, Sivar irdadan chitram elda mudiyum. It means only if there is a canvas can you paint. You are the canvas. And if you have holes in your canvas, certain places where it is so thin that when you paint, it tears. When you put a pencil there, it tears. It doesn't help anybody, least of all you. So you need to be that strong anchor, fulcrum, whatever it is. Only then you can offer to the world. So every woman, please remember, be 15% selfish. Self-care is most important. 85% tum deo, sabko deo. 15% please take care of yourself because it's worth it. And you are holding the world together. If you are holding a family, it means cumulatively you are holding the world, no?
Yes. And you even gave a beautiful example of the cave people, how the mother took care of the entire, surrounding. 360 degrees you mentioned, while the male members went out hunting. And that was also a beautiful example. So connecting us right from the past to the present, a beautiful transformation in women, and we expect all of you to do better still. Dear ma'am, and that is why we International Fabtalks is all out there for you to meet these beautiful people who are here sharing, the unsung heroes, our celebrities on the International Fabtalk, where you also should be like them. Your thoughts and your thinking pattern should change from a victim mode to the victorious person that you should see yourself as. Beautiful, ma'am. Dear ma'am, we'd like to know some of your childhood incidents, like what type of a child were you? Now, Rajani, as you mentioned very humorously, that this is the original Rajani, and Rajnikant is the name that he got after he joined the film industry.
Yes.
That is the original Rajani. And so let's get to know about your childhood. How were you as a little kid? Were you the naughty one or the shy one or the talkative one?
Talkative, yes. Having fun, yes. Complete trust and belief in everything you see and I see or talk to people. I never had any fears of, being kidnapped or and none of that. I think was the money maybe utna nahi tha. It was not very known. Only thing is, I used to be scared of physical punishment. Hamare zamane mein tha. Parents would beat, right? So as far as possible, I wouldn't get into any mischief where I would get punished. Other than that, I was studious. I'm quite good at my studies, so I used to get good marks. And then I made a lot of friends. All my classmates used to be my friends, so that was no problem there. Social skills were there from there itself. Talking was there from there itself. Enjoyment was there from there itself.
Any incident you remember? Any incident that is evergreen in your memory about as a child, either in school or at home?
Quite a few incidents are there. One is I was taken on a cycle by my mama all over. We used to stay in a colony and there was not much traffic at that time. In a colony, very rare there were 1 or 2 cars, most of them two-wheelers, most of them on cycles. And so he used to make me sit in the front and he would cycle all over, all the roads, So I really enjoy that, that breeze in my hair and all that. I used to pester him, Mama, please take me, So whenever he was free, he would take me riding. Another memory I have, which I remember till now, that is when I was around 9 years or so, we were traveling to Kerala. My parents belong to Kerala. So we were going to Kerala and it's a night journey. That time we were staying in a place called Tarapur, which is around, I think, 100 kilometers from Mumbai. Tarapur Atomic Power Project. My dad was working there. So there one colony was built for all the staff. So we were staying there. So from there, we were traveling to Kerala. And in that journey, I distinctly remember middle of the night or 2 o'clock or something, I just got up. I was lying down, was sleeping, got up, and I found that the train had stopped. Okay. And my dad was having a glass of tea. And till then, we used to not drink tea. He looked at me, you want tea? He asked. I said, yes. I have not brushed my teeth. I said, yes. Then he bought me a cup of tea and I really enjoyed that tea so much because one, it felt like an unforbidden kind of stuff. And then, my dad made it so casual. And then, of course, middle of the night, where you wake up, when you wake up, you're supposed to brush your teeth and be good and all that. I had that tea and that I remember that even now, I don't know why. I mean, I've had so many teas after that one particular tea. I really, really remember. Super.
Yes, dear. And I could visualize that picture in my mind as the little girl holding the cup of tea and drinking it and relishing it.
It's that glass,
Yes.
Light glass.
Yes.
You can see the tea. Even now you have, in those tea shops, you get the glasses, they wash those glass. In that the tea was given.
Yes, dear. Thank you for sharing that. No, I could visualize you sitting in the train and having that and enjoying it every sip. That's really nice. Yes, friends, these are the beautiful ways we share things on the International Fabtalks, bringing back memories and, of course, sharing a lot of suggestions and advice for all of us to better our lives. Dear ma'am, what are the challenges that you face as a psychologist, or what are the challenges you've been facing on the professional space till date, and how you overcome them?
See, one thing is I must thank my gray hair because people feel that there is some masala inside, so we can trust her. Though my friends ask me to color my hair, I said, there's also one color. It gives me that stature that, okay, mental health professional, she looks like she's got some experience. Challenges are my first case, is when I started out as a counselor. My senior sent one case to me. That they were married, the couple were married for 35 years and they were on the verge of divorce. I called back my senior and asked, if you have any issues with me, we will talk it out. Why are you giving me such a difficult case. And she said, no, I know you can manage. She said. That went on for more than a year. Very challenging, lot of ways, I had to really navigate certain places where, I had to just keep quiet and allow the person to vent. I had to organize a temporary separation between them, and the wife was furious, but it was required. She understood that later. So it ended on a fairly good note, in the sense, a newer equation. The existing equation was torn to shreds, torn to shreds. So on a newer equation, they came back together then. I don't know where they are now, but though it was my first case, I'm happy to say that it was a successful case. So I'm feeling quite proud.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. And
Mm.
thank you for sharing that. Ma'am, in case, like, as you've mentioned, like 35 years plus and they want to break up, they want to go in for a separation. As a counseling psychologist, what would be your suggestion, or how would you be dealing with that, if I could know that? Because there are many of the couples outside who are maybe watching this, and they would also want to move out. They were all these years with that spouse of theirs, bearing all the torture and the abuse, and now they want to move out because their children have flown off the nest. So now they are free. They can't take that stress anymore. They were there for the children. Now they want their freedom. How do you share your thoughts on
If
that?
you are in a marriage for your kids, it's not much of a marriage. It's like an arrangement you have, right? For the marriage to last, or for it to be healthy, you must want the relationship. So the first question any counselor actually will ask a couple who come for counseling is, what is the goal? Do you want to work on this relationship? See if you can make it healthy. Of course, on a different dimension. It's not the same, different track. Or you feel I don't want. Because unless you want, the goal is that both of you want the relationship, then you will give it your 100%. Because there's a lot of homework we give them, a lot of exchanges that happen, and a lot of changes they themselves will have to bring in their current behavior, thought, feeling, all that. They must be willing to work on that. And it doesn't, like, it's not a single short session, it's a work in progress. So you have to keep coming for the sessions. They have to work on themselves. It's not like, let my spouse change, then I will change. That never happens. So you work on yourself. So these things, this is how a couple, whenever they come to me with a marital strife, first question after listening to them, first question is, what is the goal? You want this relationship? I want it for my children. I tell them that's not a very great goal. It's a halfway goal. But if that's what you want to work on, okay, we can start with that. But I would prefer if you say the two of you would want to see whether it's possible to make the relationship healthy. In case you have decided that, no, I do not want, I don't find any growth in this, or I'm not happy here, then coming to me maybe for finding out whether your thought process is right, or you want to separate, but how to make it less messy. That also can happen. But if you've decided on separation, it makes sense to get a legal opinion. I'm not there to either say you divorce or to say to you stay back. That's not my job. That's their decision. So along the way, I can help them. It's like they need to get that insight in themselves, whether this is worth it or not. And then it's their choice, it's their life, right? There are some cases that do end up in divorce, but then because of counseling, they are better partners who are separated, because they see that this is where I went wrong, this is where I went wrong. So probably they don't repeat those in other relationships. So they are able to have a better relationship even though they are separated. Counseling also helps in that.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am, for giving us a great insight into that and a lot of clarity. Yes, dear. Much appreciated. Dear ma'am, is there any book? Would you like to suggest that book that it could help us if we read? We could gain a lot from it.
Sure. My favorite book, I give it to all my couples who come for counseling towards the end, like after the sessions are done, I give it to them as a tool. You read this, work on this, and see whether it helps, because it really helps. It is 5 Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. There he talks about love languages. It's not like, you darling, honey. I mean, the more that is there, that's great. But what he means is there are 5 ways you can connect with your partner. One is your words of affirmation. The communication, verbal communication you have, encouraging, appreciating, right? Next is the physical touch. They are not in any order, okay? That first has to be this, second has to be that. It's just that there are 5 of them. So one is words of affirmation, another one is physical touch. All those touches that make you feel loved and nurtured, not the painful touches. The hugs and the kisses and the, those kind of love touches. Then you have something called quality time that you spend with each other, enriching each other. You can be sitting together on a sofa, watching a movie on on the TV. But if you're both just sitting and watching, it's not really quality time unless it's a movie you both want, and then you discuss the movie. The quality time is when you talk to each other without any having children come in or others come in. If you can't do it at home, you do it out. Have a date. Why not? With your spouse, you have a date. So quality time you spend together. Then there is something called acts of service. What you do for your partner, even before the partner asks you about it, you kind of understand, and you go into it and say, okay, my partner, like if your partner were to see you now, maybe he'll come with a cup of ginger tea and say, that's an act of service, right? So something like that, act of service. Then fifth love language is gifts. Everybody loves gifts. So when you're able to give a gift, maybe your time is a gift, what the partner wants, right? It could be just that you are a very romantic poet, so you come up with some poems. And or it could be store bought, it could be made at home, it could be something as small as a beautiful pebble, that a wife loves. These kind of, I love collecting pebbles, colored
I
pebbles.
do love that.
And my husband, when we find something somewhere, he'll tell me, you want that? He'll ask. So you won't believe, in America, I paid $5 just for some pebbles. And he said, what? You could have bought something else with it. I said, no, I want these. Then anything like that, a gift which a partner would relish, that. Right. So as many people say, I don't know how to talk flowery language. I do not know how to write. It's okay. You borrow from some poem, you borrow from some film song. None of those lyrics writers or poets are going to come and sue you. It's all for love, right? You borrow a passage from a book, something you read, some forward you read which you like, pass it on to your spouse because it made me think of you. Oh, there you go. So 5 love languages, words of affirmation, then you have physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and you have the gifts. So these things from a childhood, as you're a child, you grow up with these needs. These are called emotional needs. And a child is given all this by parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, words of affirmation. Every child loves to be praised. Gifts, they simply love gifts. Quality time, you spend time according to the age of the child, spend time with that child, whatever the child likes to do. And then you have this acts of service, which every parent does for the child, right? Physical touch, a lot of, boxing, that oil massages, or those kind of stuff that you do with the children. As you give them all these things, the children grow up, their emotional tank is full when they get it, okay? When they get married and go, if the spouse doesn't understand that, then this person is drawing from the tank starts becoming empty. That's when the strife and the feeling maybe I'm not loved, all that starts coming in. If the spouse is able to understand and keep filling, see, both have to do for each other. Then the love that is there is reaching both of them. In this also, what Dr. Gary Chapman says is, among the 5, one will be primary. You can work it out. You'll find out what is your primary and you can guess your partner's primary. In any case, that book has 2 exercises towards the end. One is for the husband, one is for the wife. So you can work it out to find out which is your primary. I give that as a homework for the couple. I tell them, you read this book, take your time. Each love language, read, digest it, understand, because there are case studies there. There are ways to achieve that love language. All he has given. So do that. And then after you complete all the 5, work on the sheets. It is like a joint activity. Work on those sheets. And then, it kind of gives you a path forward. If something is slipping, maybe this service, this love language is kind of lagging. The wife loves words of affirmation. I have not really complimented her for quite some time. So that comes in. Okay, I better do this. I mean, it has to be genuine also, acts of service. So many ways you can connect with your partner. Through the primary love language, you connect fastest, shortest way. Same way, the 5 love language can be used for abuse, and that abuse will be most painful. If for you physical touch is your primary, you love the hugs and the kisses and the, just like that, grabbing hand, walking on the road, holding your hand, or putting the partner puts arm around the shoulder, around the waist. You love all those things because that's your primary. Even if you're given a small slap, it will hurt you a lot. Physical touch is your primary. A slap will hurt you a lot, right? Words of affirmation. You love encouraging words, and your partner uses all choice words. There was one lady who came to me and said, that husband is an alcoholic, hardly works, all that. And then she said, the words he uses when he's drunk with me, when he drinks and comes home, the words he uses to me, they are so killing. It goes directly into my heart and my mind. And all. Ma'am, I don't mind if he were to hit me, history says. Meaning, words of affirmation are her primary. So she's willing to take a physical, because she says if he hits me, after some time the pain goes off. But those words, they remain with me. So it gave me an inkling that is her primary. So this is how. Never ever use any of these 5 love languages to hurt, because it'll reach fastest and swiftest. But use it to connect. That's why we are here, right? To connect. So this is a book that this is a tool actually that I really resonate with. I give it to parents also for their children. I also give it to the married couple, help them to work through that.
Yes, dear. A lot of insight into that beautiful book you've given us, ma'am. It has opened our eyes as to what we should expect from our partners and how we should work on ourselves as well. Yes, dear. And we should not take any form of abuse. Either maybe it is verbal, physical, emotional, financial, any form of abuse. I would feel no one should be ready for it. You should be ma'am, I have a question in my mind. Is it in a relationship between a couple? Is it love or respect that keeps this relationship alive?
There are 4 pillars for a healthy relationship. One is trust, one is respect, one is intimacy, and one is love.
So among all of these, for which tops?
All 4. Even if one brick falls, the structure tilts. So all 4 pillars are required for the edifice to go up. Yeah. So trust, you understand that you need to trust each other. And today's world, trust is taking a real beating because of so many hours you spend at workplace with other genders and all that. Sometimes you prefer that other gender, that other person to your partner. So that problems come in there. Respect is not just you respect each other. That can happen. But you need to respect your partner's baggage he or she comes with. Family, friends, likes and dislikes, opinions, everything, the education, the physicals, everything the partner comes with. The partner never comes alone. Partner comes with this. So you need to trust every element in that space. You may not agree with some of those elements, but you need to be respectful of them because that belongs to your partner. You may not see eye to eye with your mother-in-law. I'm talking as a woman. Okay, with your mother-in-law. But she is your husband's mother. You need to respect that. So if you have any issue, you take it up with your husband. Don't go fight with your mother-in-law. That will not be tolerated. It's not appropriate also to do that. Talk to your partner. If he can help, he will help. Otherwise, you just accept, okay, that lady is like that. There's nothing. You keep on nagging your spouse. You're spoiling your relationship, right? So respect is always for the entire, whatever the partner comes with. Intimacy, there are 9 areas of intimacy. All the 9 areas, if there is intimacy, the relationship is good. Verbal, physical, you know what's physical, right? Physical is hugging, kissing. Sexual, it is between partners. Then you have emotional, respecting each other's emotions. Mental, each other's opinions and thoughts. Then you have financial, transparency is required. You have social, how you deal with your extended families on both sides. Then you have spiritual, which is you can believe in God, don't believe in God, but respect each other's space. And moral, whatever principles you have come with into the relationship, respect each other's morals. So that is a one of the pillars, intimacy. Another pillar is love. It's not just that, I love you and you're the most this and all. Love here is unconditional love for your partner and unconditional acceptance of your partner. See, have you seen earlier times it used to be, that you don't get to see your partner. Your parents fix up and then only on the wedding day you get, and Sehra Pehna hai, you can't even see the face, right? Only on first night you get to see. But the times have changed so much that, matrimony sites and all those things, families come, then the boy and the girl are allowed to talk to each other, they spend time with each other. That is allowed nowadays. So I always tell the engaged couples, minimum 3 months time take before marriage, and interact, talk on several levels. We give them several areas to talk on them so that you understand on the day of the wedding, you're not a stranger to each other. There is some foundation built, at least some friend, you have become some type of a friend. So starting a relationship with friendship, that's the best thing to do. So that finally, when it comes for the wedding, you know most of the stuff about this person. Then once the wedding is done, whatever it is, that tying the Mangal Sutra or Satvera, whatever ritual which makes you a married person, then that partner has to be accepted unconditionally. Till that time, you can reject. But once you've crossed that line, your partner you have to accept unconditionally, and you must make the sincere effort of giving unconditional love. That comes very easily with your child. Nobody has to teach you to give unconditional love to your child. But this is very difficult for a partner, a grown adult by your side, raised by somebody else, to give. But that is another pillar that needs to work. So every pillar is work in progress. Nothing is fixed. It will keep going, but that's a work in progress. That's how the relationship moves forward. Not static. No relationship is static.
Yes, dear. Thank you for that beautiful explanation, ma'am. Much appreciated. Thank you for the clarity that with which you've explained that it's gone deep down into our head as to the 4 pillars and how you could balance your relationship and go ahead in life. Dear ma'am, how would you want to be remembered in this world, and why should people remember Rajani, the real Rajani?
Why should people remember me? I have no such need or want. Of course, my family and future generation in my family could remember me. How I would like them to remember me as someone who was quite easygoing, with a good sense of humor and good listener. I listen when people talk, and I genuinely am interested in people. So I get them to talk. I'm not put off by strangers. Why should I talk? What will he think? Nothing. If I find something interesting, I just move ahead and talk. I was standing in a canteen. I in my resume it says was to work for Bharatmatrimony. So there was a canteen in that building, and I had gone there to order some food. And I heard a voice behind me, a male voice, which is so beautiful, that full tenor, and what should I say, the pitch and all. It was absolutely mesmerizing voice. I turned around to see who's talking. It was a thin, spindly man, young fellow. I didn't think it would be him. I kept looking, and then when he spoke, I heard. So I just went up to him and said, "You have a wonderful voice. I really like your voice." Nobody has told him that. He was so embarrassed, actually. Then I told him, "No, actually, it sounds well on to the ears. So I like your voice. I don't know who he is, where he works, nothing. But I liked it. I went and told him. So I am not, afraid of strangers or something. It's needed, I talk, whoever it is. After all, we're all human beings, right?
Yes, dear. I know that you're a very warm person. I bonded with you and there was an instant connection. Yes. I guess what you've been explaining now with an example of that tall man and his voice. Yes, dear. You are a person who's very approachable and friendly and accepting the right kind of people. Yes, dear. Much appreciated.
There is no right or wrong, Andrea. It is appropriate situation, people, that's how I look, because I'm a mental health professional. Right or wrong is black and white. कुछ भी जिंदगी में black and white नहीं है, gray बहुत है बीच में. So
yes, very
appropriate for that situation, for that time, for that person.
Yes.
So many things.
Perfect. Thank you for bringing that out now. Between black and white, the great thing lies there, right? And the appropriate situation, appropriate person. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, what about movies? According to you, which is the best movie till date with regard to your profession? If you could connect all of that.
See, for my profession, certain movies are there. I hardly connect that way. I go just to enjoy. And nowadays, actually speaking, there are very few movies I really want to go and see in the theaters. You know, that large experience I would like only. There are so many movies being released. My husband is a movie buff. He keeps calling me, let's go for this, let's go for that movie. I keep telling, nah, I'm not coming, you go. Because there could be some kind of violence there or inane conversations happening there. I would have read the synopsis which comes in the paper, no? Thoda aisa dekh leti hu, what is the storyline? But the one movie of recent time, two movies actually. One movie is that Gangubai Kathiawadi. Oh my God, she just blew me over. Alia Bhatt, her acting. Anytime even a bit is shown on TV, I sit and watch. Her. I really like. I mean, to think that it's a real story, right? Maybe some cinematic license is taken here and there, but to think that that lady could think like that in that situation, that we are also human beings and we also have our basic rights and we want certain things, and to stand for it and fight for it in spite of being ridiculed and insulated and insulted and all that, that really took guts. And Alia Bhatt has done. I'm not surprised she got the national award for it. And others, of course, in humorous veins. Dr. G. Ayushmann Khurrana, he played a gynecologist in that. It was really funny. The situations he's put into. But towards the end, they kind of spoiled it, that humor went out. But that was also good. So, but one thing I declare wherever I go, I am a die-hard Shah Rukh Khan fan. I must admit, I have not seen all his movies, but whatever movies I have seen, he's a king of romance. It makes a woman feel so loud, so feminine, just to see the way he's romancing his heroines. And I know that he genuinely respects women, and that comes through. So that's one person I really admire from the filmdom, right, as a hero. And I like his movies. I like watching his movies, even if they're some kind of earlier movies are not so great, but still I watch them just for Shah Rukh Khan. And any YouTube video when I'm scrolling, if I see an interview of Shah Rukh Khan, I pause, I listen, because that man's sense of humor is great, and what he says makes a lot of sense. He just doesn't talk just like that. Talks, things, pauses. What he talks is sensible. I mean, I'm not giving him marks or anything, but that's what I feel, the way he talks. No?
Yes.
Great.
And he's very conscious when he presents his thoughts to the public. No? He's very thoughtful as to what he should convey.
No, but it comes out very naturally also.
Yes.
He doesn't pause, think, no paper to refer to.
Very true.
It just comes. And some people they will say no comment and walk off. I find that very irritating. You are educated. You should have some opinion. Other yes bolo ya no bolo. What is this? No comment.
Dear ma'am, what about traveling? Do you feel that traveling is very useful?
Yeah. I have traveled. Now it has come down a little, but I used to travel extensively. Quite a few states in India itself I have gone. I still have a few states. I have not touched the northeastern states. Meghalaya, Nagaland, Assam, Mizoram. I would love to go there. I'm told that they are real beauties, those northeastern states, Seven Sisters. Gone to Tripura, but I didn't like it very much. It's like a suburb of Kolkata. There was nothing, the natural beauty I didn't find. But I'm told the other 7, Arunachal Pradesh, I would love to go that side once. And of course, our Kashmir is there. Things are settling there. So hopefully, I will be able to make a visit to Kashmir the summer. I can't stand that baraf ka cold enough. Summer, I should be making a visit.
Yes, dear. Have you been traveling overseas to any of the countries?
Yeah, I went to, in 1 year, same year, I went to Malaysia and I went to the US. And since the US was a conductor tour, we also went to Bahamas, Canada, and Cape. It was a tour. So got to see these places. But after a point of time, I found, all houses look similar. All roads are similar. I mean, they are kind of becoming a blur from city to city to city we are going. Everything is the same. They have wonderful parks. They have wonderful houses. They have museums. After a point of time, I refused to get down from the bus. My husband was running for everything. Park hai, ye hai, wo. It is there everywhere. Like, I felt I was in the same city because similarity I was seeing, those A-shaped houses, and any house you see, there will be a road in front of it for movement of people than the main road where the traffic moves. So that concept I like very much. Children can play around and all that. And most of the houses had gardens in front. They had the basement, which was well developed. Just like, you could have a house room there. One cousin's place, we slept down there. It was very funny. I mean, in India, I don't think we have basement rooms, right? So that was a experience. But otherwise, I felt like, yeah, okay. I went to Chicago, I went to Los Angeles, I went to San Francisco. San Francisco, only thing I noticed was, those car tires are always turned at an angle because the whole city is kind of keeps sliding. Height it comes down. So all the cars will be parked with not wheels straight. The wheels will be, that was pointed out, and I started noticing that with every vehicle to see somebody has broken the rule, but nobody is. I like the way they cross the roads, they wait for pedestrians. Those are all very great stuff. But after a point, it started, maybe I was thinking to myself, you become bloody jaded. What is this you're doing? You have gone spent so much money and gone abroad, and this is what you're talking. So yes, these are the two countries I have been to. If you take Canada also, means 3 countries. Bahama, to the star ho gayi. That's it. I have not gone, and I want to finish covering India first. Like I told you, northeastern states are still there. I need to go there. I want to go to the top, Jammu Kashmir. I want to see that also.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing all of that. Thank you very much. Dear ma'am, what is the one thing that you love about yourself? That yes, this is me, and I love myself the most because this is my inner core quality.
बड़ा सा list है. Well, like I said, I like my gray hair, right? And then I like the fact that I can smile at most things. There's very little that, upsets me or makes me frown or anything. I smile at most things and laugh also. In a day, I laugh a lot. Talk to my daughter, I laugh. My clients, when they come in, I learn a lot from my clients also. It's not just that it's a one-way thing that I'm helping them. I also take in, how their resilience, how they are coping with their difficulties and challenges. It's really admirable. So I learn from them. However, in my session, at least once I am successful in getting them to laugh. That lightens the mood. So somewhere I don't do it, like it's not a conscious thing, but it comes in. And then when they leave, they'll be smiling and say, yes, ma'am, we enjoyed time with you. So then they work on. So like that, today also I work as a corporate counselor. So 2 young ladies came in and one was totally all over the place. It was difficult to bring her to her core, what she wanted done. By the time we reached there, and then some genuine laughter and all happened. And she said, yes, I didn't realize that talking to a counselor would help me like this. I said, good, I keep coming here once a week, come back next time. So she was very happy. And then the other young lady, she was confused. She tells me that she is a go-getter. She loves challenges and all in her college days. But somewhere she has lost that spirit. So I asked her, do you feel that your juice has gone out? She started laughing. Yes, ma'am, that's exactly how I feel. Then she ended by saying that my mother told me you have always stood up for yourself, no matter what. So she has come across an incident where she felt that she's not done a great job. So she was feeling very bad about it. And she said, I was even thinking of resigning from this place because I felt so ashamed and embarrassed and all that. So we talked through that, all those feelings and all we addressed. And finally I said, you stood up for yourself in your childhood and college days and otherwise, no? Yes, she said. Stand up for yourself now, I said, emotionally. Stand up for yourself. She paused and she said, yes, ma'am, I can do that, she said. I said, do it. That's what's required, right? For you to come out of the morass. Do it. Stand up for yourself. Yes, I made a mistake because I was not prepared. So that's a lesson I need to learn. But forgive yourself. Mistakes happen. If you repeat the mistake, then that's not a mistake. Mistake happens only once, okay? If you're repeating without learning the lesson, you can't say it's a mistake. So then you're not willing to learn is the idea behind it. So I told her it's a mistake. Forgive yourself. Move on. Stand up for yourself. Nobody's going to stand up for you. Then she stood up and she said, she's actually squared her shoulders. And she said, yes, ma'am. I agree with what you say. Yes, I didn't think of it this way at all. So somewhere I touch, I connect. whether it's my supervisees or my clients, or I take skill classes for college students. So somewhere or the other, I make fun and draw them out and stuff like that. I want people to remember me as a fun-loving person, someone who listens, someone who has a sense of humor, someone who loves to laugh, make them comfortable wherever, whichever situation they are in. It's no judgment like, how can you do that? You're so educated. Nothing. Something is bothering them, right? So that's how, I don't know if it's making any sense.
Yes, it is making sense, ma'am. It makes. Yes, dear. Yes. And we
I
love
don't
you
have
for who you are.
concrete replies, no? I'm all over the place, I think.
Yeah, you are doing a fabulous job, ma'am. You are explaining all the reality that you've been encountering and experiencing. You're sharing all of that. And others too may open up at the right time. And they would love somebody like you to be with them to enable them to understand how they could bounce back, how they could start reliving a beautiful life again. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, what about sports and games?
Now nothing, but I used to be a shuttle badminton player and quite good at it. I won some prizes and all. However, I don't know, somewhere it dropped by the wayside. I don't know why. And I'm not sure I'll go back to it also. I do my morning walk as a part of exercise, but I don't go and play. I used to go for aerobics classes and it was like dancing. So I used to really enjoy it. Some 8 to 10 years I've done it regularly. In fact, when I got my first job as a counselor, I made sure that I tell them I'll come only till 4 because 5 o'clock was my aerobics class. So my friend asked me, how can you say that? I said, I'll come as a consultant. First job as a counselor. I was dictating. I said, I'll come only till 4. They also said, okay. Panchamaji, I used to go for my aerobics class. I really love. But then, my knees started hurting. And then one orthopedist told me that don't do the stepper, where you have to step up and step down. That you don't do. And that was the method for twice a week. Then it became thrice a week. So I told that person, aerobics instructor, I'm not able to. And bending, squatting, I was finding it difficult. Obviously, it is catching up, and maybe my cartilages and bones are not all that great to start with. So why damage them further? So I thought, okay, walking is the only thing that helps me and is okay. So I do that. I don't mind walking 2 miles, 3 miles, and I'll walk. Mostly I walk. I don't know how to cycle. I don't know how to drive a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, nothing. I walk wherever feasible. Otherwise, I ask for a lift wherever possible. आजकल तो Uber है, Ola है. My husband drops me. There is bus. In Chennai, we have a free bus for women. So anywhere you can board in any bus. Of course, the deluxe buses and all you can go. Other buses are there. Women के लिए free है. So then there are buses also wherever I need. So transport wise, I'm never stuck. So there are certain things which I don't believe in doing because I find that there are alternatives.
Yes, dear.
Like I tell my daughter, shortcut cooking कोई करना है तो मुझसे सीखो.
मुझसे भी सीखो. मैं भी ऐसी हूँ. Yes, dear.
I don't believe in all that elaborate preparation or something edible, tasty, good for the body. I can wrestle it up. But I am not going to, look at decoration, presentation. वो एक छोटा सा bit रख के फिर उसके surrounding ऐसा रखो. वो थोड़ा bit खा के what is going to happen to you when I see these chefs and all presenting, no? I love to eat. And when I see that tiny bit kept there on that plate, no, सूंघने से चला जाएगा. So what's that? So yes,
Yes,
lazy. I that way I'm quite lazy.
yes, dear. Dear ma'am, what is the change that you would like to see in the world and you would like to concentrate your energies in bringing out that beautiful change?
I honestly believe that when a marriage is healthy, relationship, when it is healthy and people follow, work in progress, work towards, see what works for you 60%, you are happy with it. Another couple 80%, then some couples 40% also they're happy. So whatever works for you. The healthy marriage, you also become responsible parents, right? And when the parenting is in a responsible, ethical, mature fashion, children turn out to be responsible, mature, ethical human beings for the society, right? And from there, they take over the world. They are the future generation, so they take over. So I honestly believe that I need to start with the marriage. For that, I need to start with pre-marriage, before the marriage. I would love it if couples who are engaged or who are in love and they're thinking of the next step, they come in for counseling, they understand what that relationship is. I can't blame the youngsters nowadays because they don't have role models. They are, single unit families, all their models are father and mother, and that marriage may or may not be healthy, right? So what I would like is for them to come, understand what the relationship, so that when they do take the next step, they know what they're getting themselves in for, and they have those ways to manage. They come up with their own ways to manage. So my wish is, it's my project. It's very close to my heart. I want to keep talking about premarital counseling, a premarital workshop. I do it in colleges and all, but I keep telling corporates, you have unmarried employees here, organize. I would like to talk to them. It's not something that people consider important. It's not really value for time and all that, but that's where I feel the whole crux is. Premarital, say marital, they don't have to come for marital counseling once they are, sorted here. They can come to finally probably fine tune or remove some knots here and there. But then they go to become parents, and the parents raise responsible kids. The kids become pillars of society, and then we have a functioning, well-functioning world. That's my dream. I
Yeah.
don't know when it will happen.
It will, ma'am, it will. It's a beautiful one and a genuine one too, and definitely it will materialize. Dear ma'am, how would you differentiate between smart work and hard work?
I am a lazy person. So see, any work, it's like, you read 2-3 pages of some article, somebody has written something, 2-3 page verbose writing and all has happened. And then you cut it down to that presse writing. You make a summary of whatever is said there. And that summary actually gives the crux of that through 2-3 pages, right? You connect with the audience with that summary. You are giving them all the information in a summarized form. That is smart work. That's how I look at it. You're all over the place doing this, that, and all. It's not helping. Fix something that you want to do and go after it. If you have to educate yourself for that, if you need to upskill yourself for that, do that. And then focus and keep going forward with that. And somewhere the change will come. So smart work is recognizing, first of all, what is your niche. In mental health, we tell the novice counselors, understand which area you cannot work, which doesn't resonate with you, where you find it difficult. Don't go into that area. Openly tell if such cases come that I am not equipped to handle this personally, emotionally, or I don't have the skills because I don't want to handle. I will not skill myself for it. Right? I don't take addiction cases, alcoholics, drugs. I don't take those cases at all because I know that I cannot handle them. Right? So first you identify what you cannot. That itself is half the work done. And then out of the various areas in counseling, I'm talking only as a mental health professional. Okay. Out of the areas in counseling, whatever area resonates with you, I like working with youth, or I like working with children, I like working with couples. Then you equip yourself, train yourself, certify yourself, and then offer. And learning is an ongoing process. There are new theories coming up, new perceptions are there, new training is being offered. Internationally, it happens. Nationally, so whatever you can afford, whatever you have the time, work on that aspect alone. Don't try to be all over the place. Though I offer for adults, couple, those areas I do offer. But my niche is premarital and marital. So most of my clients come for marital. Few of them come for premarital because it is really not caught on. Youngsters are not understanding how important that is. Unless you do your engineering degree, you cannot call yourself an engineer. You can't go and do design a house as an architect unless you have done a course in architecture, right? So something like that. Smart work would be identifying what you're good at, developing the skills for that. It's like your ikigai, your passion. You develop skills for that. It should earn you money and it should help somebody. Then you found your ikigai, right? The Japanese concept. The smart work is like that. Identify what you are good at. If I say no to this client, then I will not get a client. No, I will not have business. It's not like that. It takes time. It does take time, but believe in yourself, in your craft, move forward. That is there for everybody. Even children, when we tell them to study, we break it down to them for them, which is the easiest subjects. So identify that, which is little tough and which is the toughest. So spend more time on the toughest, intersperse the easy, then go to the little tough, come back to the tough, like that, we tell them. So that is smart way in sitting on, no. That doesn't work at all. Rote learning actually doesn't help.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing all of that. With lots of clarity and lots of passion, you've been sharing all of that to make us understand that premarital counseling is a must.
Yes.
All youngsters. Because then before you take the dive, before you take the plunge into marriage, it's really very important.
You know that it is mandatory, premarital is mandatory for Christians. They have to get that certificate from the church that they underwent premarital with the priest. The priest, male, will it's not even counseling. They will talk to the male. The priest, wife will talk to the girl. You have to sacrifice, you have to do this, you have to listen to each other. That is what they talk. That's not exactly counseling, but that is what they call premarital. Unless they have that certificate, they cannot get married. Church will not accept. हमारे इसमें है ही नहीं. I mean, कुछ भी चलता है. It is like that. So we need to bring in that mindset, chisel it into that mindset.
Yes,
be with me anyway.
Yes, dear. Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing. Ma'am, may we know who are the friends who have stood with you through thick and thin right up to this day? Would you like to mention their names?
Yes. My husband, Nandakumar. He came on as my tutor. Then we kind of realized that we want to be life partners. We went through a lot of objections and opposition and all that. Still, we steadfastly said we'll marry only each other. So after that, we got married. Long courtship, 7 years it took for us to get married because parental opposition was there. Because he's Brahmin and I'm a non-Brahmin. Then from there, we have built our ghosla, the nest we have built. And lots of ups and downs. I was not working at all. I was more a housewife, taking care of in-laws, my parents, and all that full gamut I've gone through. All the while feeling that, there's something missing in my life. My husband was very encouraging. He would tell me to go and join this course, join that course, keep yourself busy. And so I have done a lot of certificate courses, but I never felt ready to have a career. It's when I did psychology, little late in my life, I did psychology. That's when I realized that this is it. I don't know if you've seen that dance reality show where one of the judges says, "This is it." For him, that is the epitome of that presentation, like that. So when I took to psychology, for me, it was like duck taking to water. This is it. And every step of the way, he has encouraged me. He's the one, who arranged those trophies behind me. It should be seen, he said. I said, what is that? It is okay. No, let it be seen. So whole afternoon, he was been arranging the room for this interview. I had gone for work. He works from home. So I came in and I didn't notice, right? And I didn't come into this room. Then he asked me, "You're not seen your room. I've set it up for you." I came and saw. I mean, it's so sweet of him, that he has done this thing. He is my rock, my support. Yes, I do get irritated with him. He also gets irritated with me, but then that is part of life, I guess. And we are contrasts. He is very active. I'm the lazy one. Anything has to be done, it has been done yesterday for him. For me, it can be day after tomorrow, ka 2 din baad mein bhi. I procrastinate. So that is the difference between us. But I've learned a lot from him because punctuality is very important for him, and that I learned from him. To be on time, at least 5 minutes before. It has seen me through now, and it has become a habit now to be present 5 minutes before at least, punctuality. So that's one thing I learned from him. And he also has a great sense of humor. You won't believe it, we talk to each other in Hindi only, mostly at home. If I get angry with him, I yell at him in Tamil or this thing. Otherwise, we're generally chatting away in Hindi. And so, yes, he still has that quest for learning. Anything new, he has to go all out to learn about that, at least as much as he can. So that learning curve is, I can see in him. So that is also fueling my learning curve. And yes, so he has been one steadfast in my life. Unfortunately, my mother could not be. She was a great inspiration for me, my role model, one of the role models. I like 3-4 people for some of the qualities and all. I don't stick to one role model. She always wanted me to work, but however, I came into counseling after she passed away. So till date, I miss her, and I miss the fact that I didn't do it earlier. It was not destined, but still, I knew she would have been ecstatic, happy that I have found my niche. She would keep on goading me, learn something, do something, earn. She will tell me every woman needs to earn. She would tell me that. I was like, what is there? My husband is earning it. No, you need to. You don't understand. You need to. She used to keep saying that. I used to wonder then why. Then after I understood that, it gives an identity. It gives a kind of respect in the extended family. So yes, 2 people.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. And we really love the background that you have there. Many thanks to your husband. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Lots of love and respect from the International Fabtalks to sir and to your mom as well. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, what brings a smile to your face?
Nothing specific, everything. Like I told you, Ladybird I watch, yes, there is a smile. If like autumn leaves fall, no? Badam tree ka that orange, red leaves, huge leaves. They're just carpeted around now because the rain has fallen. Each one is so beautiful, color common. Not all leaves are the same. Different hues of the same color. That's beautiful. I look at my grandson, he's the apple of my eye. He's all of 12 years, he's becoming a young man. He's telling me, I'm going to be a teen now, going to be 13. I said, yes, kya karega? I remember him as a fresh out of the oven, so to speak. He was so red in color, I named him Tomato. So from that moment, I've been fortunate to have him close to me. They live very close by, so almost we interact. I don't disturb him when he's got school, but the weekends, yes, we try to catch up. We go there, he comes here and all, and I've taught him to hug and kiss me. He didn't like it, but I told him, no, that's a deal. You have to give me that. So earlier he used to just stand, I would hug him and I'd kiss him. Now when he sees me, comes with his arms open. That feels nice. So all these things, small things, sitting and chatting with him, talking. I talk to my daughter every day, once in the morning and once before going to bed. In between we baat karte hain. But some conversation where we laugh a lot, we were mad at our respective husbands, we share with each other. Somewhere to vent out, all that is happening. My friends, any forward that comes, I find very funny, it brings a smile. So there's nothing that, aisa hona chahiye, then only you smile. There is no agenda. I laugh a lot throughout the day. Smile to rehta hi hai face pe. So it's nice when I go to temple and I see that Divaradhana, that Mangalarti when they're doing. I feel so good. I'm smiling. I'm one with God like that. So spiritual also is there a little bit. Keep invoking God's name whenever I start something. One thing I am slightly scared of is, it's very funny. My daughter also makes fun of me. Electricity. Electrical appliances, not electricity per se. Electrical appliances. To switch it on. Mixie. I say Ganesha and then I switch on. Then mixie is never going to be trouble. But फिर भी वो plug डाल के switch on करते थे Ganesha. When I turn करते Ganesha. It's like when I switch on the lights fan, I make sure my hand is not wet. It just takes a moment of carelessness for anything to happen like that. So that's the one thing I saw in your list. What are you scared? I was just trying to think, what can I tell? Because there's really nothing I'm scared of. Then I remembered, yes, electrical appliances. I have a healthy respect for these inanimate stuff. And I use very little appliances. So I'm okay like that.
Yes, dear ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing all of that. Thank you very much. May we now know, when does Rajani ma'am get angry and what angers her the most?
What do I get mad at is when I see abuse. Especially when I see children being abused, I get so mad. I feel so helpless, So that's one power if I had where I could, put all those abusers of children, if I could meet them and punish them, I would be the happiest on this earth. Imagine messing up with a child's childhood, that innocence. Once a child grows, lots of challenges, obstacles, hardships the child has to face. But why spoil that childhood? Physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse. No, I just can't handle. I get mad at the abuser, and no amount of justification is going to shake me. You know, I saw Kia because he was abused as a child. That doesn't gel with me. You're abused as a child, you should understand what it means. You will not do it for others. So that is no justification. So that's one thing where I get very angry when I see abuse happening. If I can stop it, I will stop it. If I can talk to somebody who I know is not being fair to their child, I'll just move ahead and do it. Like, my husband tells me, "Nahi, Hama, don't, it'll mess up relation." It doesn't matter. Child has to enjoy. Child needs to love life, grow up, knowing security. Child needs that base, that root to grow up from. That then only a child will be confident handling challenges. That security is very much needed, and somebody to talk to is very much needed, right? Few things only a child needs here. Child doesn't need the whole world. You don't buy a child expensive gift. Chota sa ek toy leke do, child is very happy because their world is so small, no? So innocent that world is. I'm actually seeing the world afresh through my grandson's eyes. Uska perspective, uska way of looking at things, it's refreshing for me. After so many years, I've seen that and done that and all, no, that just now I'm, seeing through his eyes. The world is beautiful. We have beauty around us. Many people missing that. That is not to that garbage pada hai, idhar ye aadmi aisa kar raha hai, that is that man is doing like that. That beyond that, there is so much good in this world. There is good in humanity. You have people who are good, innately good. Just that your luck, you have not met them. There are people who are good, kind, compassionate, generous. The world cannot be surviving if these good human beings are not there. So there is hope. I have faith. I have hope in mankind. Kuch nahi, too much if you do, the world, Mother Earth will just do one jhatak like that means after that balance will be restored. All she has to do is sneeze or burp or whatever it is. People will come to their senses. They don't understand that. You are not omnipresent or omni, whatever.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, thank you for sharing, dear. Dear ma'am, I really love the way you want to focus on children having a beautiful life. They should enjoy their childhood. They shouldn't take any childhood traumas into adulthood and suffer there. And all the abusers out there, to the little kids, stay away from the little kids. If you want to abuse them, if you want to respect and love the child, keep them close to you. Dear ma'am, we'd love to know your favorite color.
Yellow.
And maybe know why.
I first reached for yellow. That's my favorite color. My wardrobe, there was a time when everything was yellow. All shades of yellow were there in my wardrobe. Okay. Then afterwards, I realized, God has created so many colors. Why am I stuck with one? And my husband likes me to buy black. I told him, no, I will buy black, but I want all colors. Now I have shades of different colors. I have all colors. And I love wearing all kinds of colors, and today I was wearing black and black with a purple socks. I realized I thought, what the hell? Who's going to say anything? It's my spare. It's on my feet. Purple socks. It doesn't matter. That's also a color. Chalega karke. It's like that, So I like all colors, but even a coat